What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, the Texkin. Today we're going to talk about clutch lever position and front brake lever position, for that matter. And as usual, I'm going to be on my SSR 300 that I just bought not too long ago. Now, what I'm going to talk about really isn't a brand-specific thing. It's not an SSR thing or a Honda thing or Yamaha or whatever. It's a all motorcycle, even street bikes and I guess street bikes and dirt bikes are one type of motorcycles. So anyway. This is just a general motorcycle tip. Now, if you'll notice, on most bikes, your front brake is a little bit shorter. The lever is a little bit shorter than your clutch lever, and that's for a reason. Because you want to be able to pull it in and fully engage that functionality, whether it be the brake or clutch, with one finger. You want your fingers on the handlebars to get a good grip. You don't want to be out here like this. You don't want to, you want a good firm grip. You don't want a death grip on it, but you want a good firm grip so you can control the bike. Your arms aren't all loosey-goosey on the bike. You got a good grip. You can fully engage the functionality, whether it be the clutch or the brake. As you can see, look, I can move the bike with my legs, engage the brake, nothing moves. Now, the clutch is the same way. It should be the same way. When you're riding, if you want to ride safely, you should have one finger on the clutch. It's usually either your index finger or your flipping finger. I usually like to ride with my index finger on the clutch, and I like to be able to fully engage the clutch with just my index finger. When you buy a motorcycle, whether it be a street bike or dirt bike or a new bike, even a used bike if it wasn't set up properly, you'll find that you usually need to pull in and keep the clutch engaged. You'll need to use all four fingers. Well, that's kind of a problem because if you get into a sticky situation, you have to loosen your grip on the handlebars. So rule one, your fingers are off the handlebars. You don't have a good grip on that side of the bike. You have to reach out, extend your fingers, then pull in the clutch. That takes time. It may only take milliseconds, but if you're racing or riding for that matter, milliseconds means the difference between coming home in your truck with the 6-foot-tall trophy and going to the hospital in an ambulance. So you really want to move the clutch lever over towards the throttle, towards the right, to be able to pull it in with one finger. Now, most bikes, underneath the little clutch lever bracket, the part that holds the lever onto the handlebars, there'll usually be either a bolt or a screw of some type. For SSRs, pretty much all the screws are Allen heads. And you'll need to loosen up that screw and move it over. Now, everyone's going to be different because everyone's hand size is different. You've got a smaller hand, you might want to have it a little bit further over, depending where you hold the bars, hand size, finger length, all that good stuff. Some people like the clutch a little bit further towards the ground, the whole lever position more towards the ground. Some people like it more up in the air, and that's something you'll have to play with. Now, I usually like my clutch lever probably about level, even with the handlebars. Like I said, I have seen some people ride it with it further down and further up. Now, with that being said, you're going to have to play with the position and just play with the height and the orientation of the lever a little bit. Once you get done, what you usually want to do is you want to start the bike up. Hope you guys can still hear me. Pull it in with one finger and put it into first gear. If the bike doesn't move, you win. You successfully set up your brake. So that's basically the 2 cents on how to set up a clutch lever. And the same should be done for the front brake lever. The front brake lever, I believe, is a little bit more complicated on most bikes as there's 2 bolts. Now, most bikes that I've ridden on, I haven't had to do a lot of setup on the front brake lever, because that's a shorter lever and it's a little bit stiffer, so you don't need to pull it in as much. It's a hydraulic. As soon as you push it pushes the wall through, you're locked up. But like I said, on the clutch lever, totally different story. Why they do this, why they give you a longer clutch lever than a brake lever and basically set it up to where you have to have all 4 fingers pulling the clutch, is a little bit beyond me. Now, I'm not a mechanical engineer, I'm not a dirt bike engineer, I'm a software engineer, so I'm going to leave that to those eggheads. But in general, that's the steps you need to do, and that's the way you should set up your clutch lever to safely ride a bike. Remember, one finger on the clutch at all times. Again, if you watch Supercross, watch the guys that race Supercross, motocross, you'll usually see them with one finger on the clutch lever. It will either be your index finger or your flip finger. Pull that bad boy in and just let it sit. You can pop it into first gear and the bike not stall out. You've done it correctly. Now, if you like this video, hopefully you did, probably didn't, go ahead, leave a comment, leave a like, and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too. I'm trying to build this channel, so any support will help. I'm just a poor old boy trying to make his way in YouTube. So give a Texarkana a hand and hit that subscribe button. Thanks, and sayonara.